Hey everyone, Chloe here, and welcome back to this feminine platform. And of course, welcome back to this hypergamous channel. And if you are new here, ladies and lurkers and ear hustlers, welcome. So, of course, this video will be a long overdue response because I like to gather my thoughts as opposed to having a very premature reaction or having a very reckless and irresponsible mouth. But I wanted to respond to Mr. Tyler Perry's very inflammatory and for many Black women, highly offensive comments regarding a woman putting her financial pride to the side in order to be in a romantic relationship dynamic with a man who earns significantly less. So apparently, Mr. Tyler Perry has not read the room, nor has he gotten the public memo that we are in the midst of a femininity push and a femininity and hypergamous movement where many Black women are beginning and have started to wean themselves off of the indoctrination of the struggle love narrative that has not long term served them well, as it is a hill that many Black women are no longer interested in dying on. Now, we've been down this hypogamous road before, whether it's been with Ms. Ebony K. Williams versus Ian Van Zant, or whether it's been viral TikTok clips where women are frustrated and exhausted and are ultimately devastated when their husbands cannot provide for them, especially when they are in dire need of rest. But for those of you who don't know, Mr. Tyler Perry, the billionaire Mr. Tyler Perry, most recently did a lovely interview with the actress Ms. Crystal Renee Hazlitt of the Keep It Positive podcast. And I highly encourage you ladies to watch the entire interview. But of course, a very specific clip went viral that of course triggered many Black women and sent them into orbit and outrage. And in response, many Black women came with the torches and the pitchforks because today is a new day, as it is very common knowledge by now that large gaps in class, values, education, and finances normally do not work. But for those of you who need a refresher, take a listen to what Mr. Perry had to say about the mortgage and the light bill, and I will be back with the rest of my commentary.
Listen, a lot of women, especially Black women, and I might get in trouble for saying this, but I will. In our society right now, Black women are making a lot more money for the most part than Black men, right? There are a lot of Black men who are successful, but for the most part, Black women are making the money. So if you can find love, if that man works, at whatever job and is a good man and is good to you and honors the house and honors his wife and does what he can because his gift may not be your gift.
Exactly.
That is okay. That's not somebody who's beneath you.
Yeah.
That's somebody who came to love you at your worth, right?
Yes.
And as long as he's secure in himself to know that, yep, she makes most of the money, all I can pay is the light bill. As long as she's comfortable enough to say, I'm going to cover the mortgage and all the other stuff, you've handled the light bill, baby, you can take me to dinner every now and then. That is fine.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah.
But that's so hard for a lot of people to take in because that means, no, I need somebody who is, they need to make 5 times more and I got to have, well, go on, keep your list, baby.
Yeah.
God bless you. Hope it happens. Go on, keep your list. But when you talk about just someone to love you and support you, I know people whose men can't touch what they make. But when you see them together, that love, that support, that I got you, babe, it's a beautiful thing.
Now, like I said in the beginning of this video, we've been down this very frustrating hypogamous road before with both Iyanla and Ms. Ebony K. Williams, who was advised to lower her standards by Ms. Iyanla, and in a backhanded kind of way, Ebony was dragged and devalued and age shamed and scoffed at for simply wanting to be married and to start a family with a man who can financially hold his own. Now, because this is a feminine and hypergamous platform for my pick-me or from my ear-hustling manosphere sympathizers, ladies, if you are the kind of woman who doesn't mind role reversal or who doesn't mind hypogamy, and who doesn't mind paying the majority of the bills, like Ms. Halle Berry, then this video nor is this platform for you. We already know that there are plenty of women who don't mind being the masculinas and the breadwinners in their marriages. And for the love of Christ, if that is what works for you and your marriage, please do not jump in the comments trying to insert yourself in a conversation that does not pertain to you or your values. However, in regards to Mr. Tyler Perry's inflammatory comments, this is just more of the same soup, reheated, regurgitated status quo claptrap that in essence wants to keep Black women in an energetic, scared straight space of manning up. And quite frankly, we are very tired of the messaging that Black women need to be okay with manning up and that they need to be okay with role reversal. And these kinds of conversations are also a high key form of fear mongering. And the fear in the messaging is essentially that if Black women want to attract a so-called good brother, then her best bet will be to pay up. But the funny thing is, a lot of women have already paid up. And just ask Halle Berry or Mary J. Blige or Kelly Clarkson or Wendy Williams how that worked out for them. The gag is that most women, particularly Black women, will try to make being the breadwinner in their marriages okay, because when push comes to shove, there is the 15-year window, and it is human nature to want a family. But a devastating result of marrying a man who makes significantly less than you is that most will ultimately come for your pockets when the marriage has run its course. Ladies, role reversal is not sustainable. It causes a lot of resentment with both genders, and it makes for a low quality romantic partnership experience when the honeymoon phase is over. The truth is, a good brother is a man who fully steps inside of his masculinity to provide for his wife and family. And any respectable man would want the same for their daughters. No respectable man will want his daughter to level down by marrying a spirit of confusion clown. And in essence, Mr. Tyler Perry's advice is not only very damaging to the fragileness and the softness of the feminine divine, but it is also ultimately unsustainable, as women were never built to outwork a man because it makes them miserable. And they were never meant to wear the pants or to be the leaders in their marriage, although many will try. And because women are wired to respect provision and protection and to a larger degree power, it is also very difficult for a woman to be the breadwinner in her marriage and for them to have a healthy respect and admiration for their husbands. And all you have to do, ladies, is to ask the men in your personal lives. Would they rather be a hero in their marriage or a mouse in their marriage? So sadly, Mr. Tyler Perry's messaging is focused on the wrong gender. Now, we have discussed the reasons why role reversal does not long-term work over and over and over again on this platform. But here's a very important clip to help both women and men understand why being the breadwinner in a marriage can and will ultimately backfire.
Women function on a 28-day hormone cycle and men function on a 24-hour hormone cycle. So men, every single day, they are the same. Their testosterone rises and falls at the same time. Women, hello, we're not men. We're not made to try to act like one another. So you have all these women who are acting like men in the workplace. Be that girl boss. It's just that women are encouraged to act like men. What's that famous Gloria Steinem quote? We're becoming the men that we wanted to marry. What it's actually doing is ruining women's health because you're working all these long hours, you're super stressed out, and you're working on the hormone cycle that men function on. No wonder they're struggling with infertility. No wonder they've got hormonal issues because stress affects us differently hormonally than it does for men.
Now, at this point, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over again and expecting a better result. So returning to the well of this messaging over and over and over again will simply begin to fall on deaf ears. No disrespect to Tyler Perry, but Tyler's very outdated advice is very draining and damaging to the feminine divine, and more importantly, it doesn't work. Most women who are in a role reversal dynamic will be burned because the male ego cannot handle and was not designed to lead from the back because he will ultimately resent it. Because when a man lacks power or ambition or accomplishment, he is typically very insecure within himself and will rely on a bunch of unhealthy coping mechanisms to repair his very bruised ego. Things like chopping your tree down or picking your self-esteem apart so that you don't think too highly of yourself, or using his breadwinning woman's bag to impress another woman, or cheating with women of a lower stature to ego repair. Ladies, when push comes to shove, a man will do anything to restore his weakened masculinity. And as a successful black man, Mr. Tyler Perry should choose for future purposes to go for a more refreshing route by instead telling black men to step their cookies up instead of hurting black women by telling them to man up. Another point that needs to be made is that although Mr. Tyler Perry is a very accomplished and successful and giving and a very admirable human being, what he is not is a mother. He is not a wife, and he will never understand the importance of a woman needing to rest in her feminine, as women are the weaker and more fragile vessel. And this might ruffle some feathers, but you can go argue with your head lice. But just because a person is rich does not mean that they are qualified to speak on every and all subject matters. But because Mr. Tyler Perry is a self-made billionaire, his words will unfortunately hold a lot of weight, and that is why course correction videos such as these are very important. So no, Warehouse Willie or the McDonald's fry cook is going to have to do more than pay the light bill. So to get this conversation started, do you believe that Mr. Tyler Perry was only trying to help, and why aren't men told to strive for more as much as black women are told to man up? Are you guys taking dating advice from Medea? And would Mr. Tyler Perry give this very strong leveling down advice to his very own daughters? And should a black woman meet a man of any race where he's at? And as always, I thank you for listening. I thank you for watching, and I thank you for subscribing. And if you know of someone who can benefit from this video, please like and share if you care. And please stay tuned for more videos to come. And I will catch up with you ladies and lurkers and ear hustlers in the next one.